Hello, this is Alex Schaefer, and this is my persuasive speech on why college athletes should receive compensation to play. Last year in college football, the top 15 highest paid coaches made over $53 million, while their players averaged out at zero. Should we allow universities to continue to abuse athletes as nothing more than cash cows? I think not. Being from a small town in Ohio, where the most practiced form of worship is Buckeye football, and having a sister who is a Division I college athlete, I can tell you just how wild college sports can get. College sports not only give you a sense of community, but also allow you to identify yourself by your team. Nonetheless, competition is how America strives, and college sports are a great representation of that. According to NCAA.org, the NCAA restrictions are developed through an embedded governance system that votes on the legislation. NCAA requires each athlete to have amateurism certification. This certification ensures that no pro athletes are in the NCAA. It also ensures that each athlete makes a minimum qualification, including GPA, courses taken, and again, that no pro athletes can enter the NCAA. You are not eligible to play in the NCAA if you have received payment or have been promised to receive any payment to play the sport. So now that you know the problem and why and that college athletes do not receive payment, let me tell you why they should. College athletes are in the media every day. Whether it's social media, news, or college game day, these athletes are being watched. Their every move, their every decision is a direct representation of the university they play for. College athletes in today's society are viewed as the same as pro athletes. While they don't make anywhere near, obviously, what the pro athletes make, they do the same job and are often perform at the same level. These college athletes have a rigorous practice schedule that averages between 35 and 50 hours per week. We are all college students. We know how hard it is to get our grades in on time as it is. Now imagine having to work 50 hours a week on top of that and play on the weekends. They don't have time to work. That's the truth. By most of these college athletes, an average of 70%, according to CBS Sports, come from low-income families below the poverty level. They often face a moral dilemma. Take money to play, don't go to college, or follow the NCAA guidelines and try to go pro. Like I said, we are all college students. We know how strained we are for time and money. The college athletes push sales the same as pro do. Many college athletes push sales on fan gear, t-shirts, and jerseys as such. While the NCAA is required to take off the players' names, it does not take off their identity, their number, or their popularity in sales. College athletes also, like I said, are a direct representation of the university. They should be compensated for that. So as we know in sports and in life, the best offense is a good defense. Many critics argue that college athletes should only receive scholarships and not receive payment. To this I say, again, most college athletes live at a lifestyle below the poverty level. While scholarships do pay for education, they do not pay for room and board and books. A great example of this was Reggie Bush, the former Heisman winner. While Reggie Bush was playing, he illegally took money to support his family. His mother was being evicted from her apartment, and he took money in order to help her pay rent. Should an 18-year-old really have to face that challenge and that moral dilemma between his family and playing sports? Another critic is they should focus on education. Now, we all know the stress of income. Without it, could we really focus on education? I say no. The student athletes will obviously be able to focus more on their school if they are making money, not struggling to make ends meet, and can provide for their families. We are all students here, made of many different backgrounds, made of many different social statuses, made of many different day-to-day lives. These athletes should be able to make it through day-to-day lives without struggling to survive. Many sports fans say that paying college athletes will take away the purity of the game. I say to this, paying athletes is going to make athletes try harder, not take away their skill set. It will encourage them and give them incentive to distinguish themselves amongst their peers. Finally, more sports fans say college athletes will make millions of dollars in a few years. To this, I would argue over 90% of college athletes do not go pro. This is a statistic, again on Peter's blog, that the number 1 and 2 reasons college athletes drop out of school are because of money and needing a job. Making millions in a few years, it's a long shot. Many athletes don't go pro, and also you got to consider the opportunity risk here. Athletes are risking their safety, they're risking their careers, and they are injured on a weekly basis. If a football player, wrestler, hockey player were to be injured in an NCAA competition, ruin his pro career, maybe be paralyzed, he has no way to support his family for the rest of his life. Same with a track athlete, swimmer, anything. If they're injured while playing NCAA sports, there should be compensation for it. According to my student survey, many of you say while you do watch college sports, you're not a fan of getting paid to play, and you don't think you either don't care or don't think athletes should be paid. Hopefully this argument persuaded you. I think that athletes deserve to be paid to play for the entertainment they provide and how hard they are pushed on a daily basis. Athletes should get what they deserve and stop letting universities abuse them. These universities are making millions off of student athletes for nothing in return.